When a person really cares about a piece, you can tell in the way they talk about it. I've been writing poetry, doing poetry for most of my life. I mean, at different points in time, I have, performed spoken word, so it has never been something that was entirely new to me. When I was young, I used that as a form of escapism, so I would really just go outside, read stories, read poetry, write poetry, things like that. I used to have a huge composition book just full of random things that I'd write down. One day in class, we had a poetry unit, and that's what we were studying. And I submitted my poems to the teacher, and she wanted me to get them published. I write all my poems for me. Like, even though I perform them for an audience or perform them to an audience, every time I write a poem, more than likely it has, in some way, it's an affirmation towards me. In some way, it's something telling me to push forward. In some way, it's something telling me how exactly I can embrace. Even if it's, more negative things that have happened to me or that are currently happening to me, how can I embrace that and move forward and everything? It's just because when I talk about it and when I present that information, that's me coming to terms with it as well. My favorite thing to do is write it on a piece of paper, just because I feel like I'm more in tune with the process. When you go back a lot of times, you can tell how you felt at different points in the poem while you were writing it, and it's so raw and it's so absolutely beautiful. I sometimes devalue my own poetry just because I feel like I'm not giving out this vibe, this energy that I'm an actual poet. I'm a 6'4", 300-pound black man. I mean, everybody expects me to, go out under the Friday night lights and line up on the O-line or D-line. Nobody expects me to go out there and perform a poem. To some people, the way you walk is poetry. The way you talk is poetry. Poetry is not just me literally writing a poem and me standing up there and performing. That's not what poetry is. The way you decide to live your life and everything that makes that beautiful, that's literally poetry in motion. That's where that saying comes from. People think what I says is poetry, and I believe it to be poetry. Then, my own beliefs about my art is what I hold supreme. The way those 4 letters sit in your mouth, making you vomit and regurgitate everything that's ever felt good to you. I hate the way it feels when you're in love.